Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Dungeon Universalis. Now, we just killed a couple of guys over here. Still on our search for this valuable gem of courage. And I'm gonna now move with my scout here. Well, maybe here, and place the dwarf here, and no, maybe this guy here. Keep them a little bit behind. Maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can place her here. And of course we shouldn't forget the crow. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to try to reveal the new section, so we first have to roll for a trap here. And we do have one. So let's see what that is. That's an ice wall. I'm not sure if that can be played here. The dark player places a wall of ice. I never had that before. Up to 2 squares of width that cuts the corridor transversely, starting from the second square from the position of the hero. That's weird. Do I have to place the new segment first and then the wall shows up? It seems like that. I mean, it cannot show up at that space, right? That's not working. Now that is a strange card. It seems the only thing it does is it actually slows you down. Characters may try to destroy the wall by using melee attacks or magic projectiles. And then it says no encounter cards may be activated as long as the wall is there. But you also don't make any noise or anything. So I guess it only slows you down. So therefore, in this situation, because there is no achievement point track, that is a totally pointless card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to simply discard it and give the guy 2 more points. I don't see any reason to play that card if you simply stay there, attack it, and the wall will go away. Yeah, that doesn't make no sense at all. Okay. That's a different story in a scenario where the hero's turns give the dark player points. Then it can be maybe a good thing, but yeah, it seems still pretty strange to me actually. Okay, so I guess we opened that. We fulfilled that trap icon here, and we're now allowed to reveal the next section. Okay, so we have here a very small segment, so I guess we don't have to roll for encounters there, simply because you cannot play creatures closer than 2 spaces away of your heroes. And what I found out is that, seems I messed up with the setup a little, the portcullis show up here. Says here 3 portcullis. So I guess, and that was to me, when you have here your setup, it said player's deck set aside face down one of the following obstacles cards: portcullis, riddle, and darkness. So I thought I had only to use one of them, kind of a random one, but I guess now we will see them all. And yeah, so therefore I'm gonna find the portcullis in this obstacle deck or wherever, and then we'll deal with them. So again, I can only assume they mean the dropping portcullis. The setup instructions call about a card called portcullis, but I couldn't find that. So I'm going to take that one. A portcullis collapses on the character and cuts the road. Well, also, I'm not sure if I have to pay for that. Yeah, I just don't know. I have no idea. This is one of these cards that was set aside, so it seems to be kind of scenario included, and therefore I will not. On the other hand, he also has to pay for the boss, which is also determined by the scenario. So you know what, I'm going to pay for that card. But then again, no. I don't think so, because you pay for the boss in advance, and if for some reason he would have been out of points and then one of these cards show up, I'm pretty sure it should be possible to still play that card. So therefore, I'm not going to pay for it. Okay, so let's see. A portcullis collapses on the character and cuts the road. It causes 8 damage dice, -1 to armor, or just 2 dice if the character passes an agility test. Wow, that's brutal if you take the full damage. That could kill you. The portcullis may only be crossed by lifting it. 1 or 2 characters can move adjacent, make a single strength test, adding the strength of both and applying a penalty of -3 to the roll. If they do so, the portcullis will be lifted during this and the next turn of the heroes, and a new section will be instantly revealed. Okay, that's tough, because if I take my strong characters, which would be not the scout, and the new section gets revealed, then yeah, I have my 2 non-strong characters in front, and they might get a problem with the initiative roll. But we'll see about all that stuff. First, we got to pass the test, and obviously, that's the thing. But obviously, I went ahead with the scout. So the situation should be like that. I didn't do that. So, but obviously, let's remove this stuff here. Yes, I'm kind of set up like that, I guess. Okay, so we're standing now here, and I gotta do a perception test of 7 to avoid the damage from the portcullis. Now that should be possible. We got the sharp senses twice. We got the eagle eye, which helps when detecting traps. Yeah, okay, so basically I only need a 4. So only on a 2 or 3, I'm in trouble. Okay, so that was okay. No problems here. So I don't take any damage. And now we got to make a single strength test. What I don't understand is, oh, wait a minute. Actually, I could try to avoid these guys dropping. They're not dropped yet, so I don't have to get them up. I only have to do a dexterity test, and I only need a 4 to do that. So that shouldn't be so hard. I think yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna roll for that. If things go wrong, I can still spend a fortune. That shouldn't be. Yeah, I have no penalties. You know, fuck it. I'm just gonna roll for it and hope that I can do that. I mean, a 4 isn't so hard. Okay, so that worked out, and the portcullis were no problem for us. Okay, we found a massive room, but what's interesting is this doesn't seem to be the main room, although we have a huge creature here. This is a abyssal abomination. So this one here, abyssal abomination, and this is placed here. That's a large creature. It's not huge technically, but it doesn't also say it's the boss or something. It doesn't say all that. It is a. So I'm not sure, for example, if we have to increase its life points or something. It doesn't say all that. So it says here, the terrible beast, the creature, abyssal aberration must be placed at no cost for the dark player. No other encounter cards may be activated. So I assume that this is pretty much all that happens. Now I think if you have large creatures, you have to roll if they have additional skills, but I'm going to check that. Yeah, so I actually remember that right. So we got to roll a 6-sider for each hero, so 4 dice, and for every 1 we roll, it gets one of these, and for every 2 we roll, it will get one of these, and I'm going to randomize which one it is. The rules say you got to start from the top, from left to right, but I want to randomize it. I think that's a little more interesting. Okay, so we got a 1. That means he will get an additional skill. Now, number 1 is tentacles, number 2 is plague bearer. Okay, so he's a plague bearer, and that means he's got to spend 1 point for that, and then we'll see what that thing does. I mean, combat value isn't too impressive. Has a pretty high strength though, so I guess we can expect some bad damage. Low agility, very low intelligence. I don't think that thing is too brutal, to be honest, but it has quite a few life points. So let's see, the skills, that's the thing. Okay, yeah, there's a lot going on here. So it's fearsome. That means we have to do the courage test, and this time I try to remember that. And because it's large, it means, I think, that's not even, it's not even indicated here anymore. There's so much going on. But we can simply take this one here because that was also fearsome. Yeah, so yeah, if the enemy is large or huge and the test was failed with a blunder, then the activation ends. Okay, I mean, that's not so likely, but good to know. So, large, let's see. Smaller size enemies hit by this creature always get a -1 to armor. They can break shields. Okay, that's not the problem. If using a weapon with the ability to break shields, okay, that doesn't matter. No, okay. So basically we got a -1 to armor. Staggering. Yeah. Can't run, swim, or perform great jumps, okay? Double attack, is that also involved? Oh boy, yeah. Oh man, that's tough. Oh, it's not so easy. It's also regeneration. one extra offensive action during its activation. Regeneration. At the beginning of its activation, the creature rolls 1d6 for every life point lost during the previous turn. For each result of 5+, 1 point is recovered. The skill can't be used by knocked out characters. Okay. You have Underworld. Invulnerable we already know. Okay. So I think, yeah, we all know that stuff. And then he's a Plague Bearer. Targets who have lost at least 1 wound point as a result of an attack from this creature must roll a d6. If the roll is equal to or greater than its natural armor, the target gets the condition diseased. Okay, so it's not going to be that easy, but maybe I think it's actually not going to be that brutal. It's also very slow, so I think we can deal with that thing. So the first thing we have to do is we have to do the initiative test, and that should not be really a problem. The guy has an initiative of -1, so let's see. Okay, that wasn't great, but he was also performing really badly, so we're good. And I think actually we caught him by surprise because he only has a 1 intelligence and I rolled twice a 2, so that should be good. Yeah, I think we did that. So I'm allowed to kind of turn this guy around, not that it really matters. That gives me a bonus when I'm shooting here, I think. Okay, I think that I do not have line of sight on this guy because of the dwarf here. But now I just realize, because this is a large creature, and the dwarf is smaller, I can, the dwarf does not block line of sight. I mean, he kind of should because he's standing right next to me, but the rules tell you that this is not the case actually. So we got to do a courage test here now, and that was very good. And then we can try to shoot at this guy, and I think I want to use the silver arrow here with my first shot. The problem is I need a 6. If I hit, I can reduce his armor by 1. That's what the silver arrow does. So let's see, I can only hope for the best. The invulnerable thing forces me to roll a 6 to do actually damage. Yeah, okay, I didn't do that. So the silver arrow is gone. But I got a second shot, so let's hope for the best here. I wonder if I should use the black arrow also. It might be a bit of a waste, but you know, if it hits, it's great, because then it gives me double. I'm gonna go with it, fuck it. I don't think I'm gonna find something more brutal. I mean, maybe I find a super strong boss or something, but yeah, I don't know. I get a feeling this is as bad as it gets. I don't know if I should use the black arrow. No, I don't use it. Chances are I'm not hitting anyway, so I'm just gonna roll a standard die here. Okay, so both were technically hits, but they didn't do any damage because I didn't roll a 6. Okay, that's not great. So now I'm going to move into the room. 1, 2, 3. Let's move in here. And now I'm going to go. Well, the 2 magicians have to do it, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That allows me to use the brain damage. It only has a range of 6. So here, the invulnerability doesn't help it. I'm pretty sure about that at least. Let's see what it says. Invulnerable. Yeah, from attacks made with melee or... Yeah, so I'm okay. Melee or long range, but they do take standard damage from spells. So we can... First we gotta also have to roll a courage test. And I need a 7 for that. Which I do have. And then I'm going to cast a spell. And I'm going to need a 5. Which I also have. Awesome. So let's see. And we're going to place one here. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to do 5 damage die against his intelligence. And so I need a 2 or higher to do damage. Ugh, that was not good at all. I'm actually thinking, yeah, I think I want to reroll that. I'm going to spend a fortune here. And then I can reroll that. Okay, that is a little bit better. I do 4 damage against that thing. Awesome. Okay, now for the first time we will see the sorcerer, our mercenary sorcerer, in action. He's got a lightning bolt, which actually has a range of 12. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good one. Does that count as a flame attack? Tough choice. I don't know, tough question. Because if he has the underworld thing, I mean, I don't think so, to be honest. It's not fire. I mean, it's lightning. That's something different. That is electricity. That is something very different than fire. So I'm not going to see that as a flaming attack. Let's see if there's... What does it exactly say? What? Here, from fire or flaming attacks. I don't think I'm going to take I mean, yeah, if it's the green flame, I can see it here, but not so much with the lightning bolt. So we can move. We got 5. So it's 1, 2, 3. I guess I have to move here, actually. Well, I could also move here. I got clear line of sight. Yeah, I'm going to move there. The range is 12, which is pretty good. So I'm going to use one of my... And let's see. I mean, I need... And I got an First, I got to do a courage test, actually. So that's not going to be... Oh, that is not going to be super easy. Maybe I messed this up. I need a 7, which I have. And now I'm going to need a 6 to cast the spell successfully. And I do have that too. Awesome. And now we're going to do 6 damage dice, which is really good. But it goes not against... it goes against... Yeah, it's nothing special. It's the standard armor. So the thing has an armor of 4. So we need a 4 or higher, obviously. Nah, that wasn't so great. So it takes 2 more damage. Yeah, that wasn't too exciting. I mean, he took 6 wounds now. So now I think what I want to do is I want to bring the others into position, but I will not attack with the others this turn. I cannot reach the guy anyway, so I don't want to try to. I want to let him come, and then yeah, and then in the next turn I want to attack. So I'm going to move with the dwarf, I guess simply here, and I'm going to move with the other guy. I might, well, maybe I don't know, 1, 2, yeah, I'm going to stay with the dwarf there. And with the other guy, I think I'm going to, well, yeah, I got a movement of 5, so I'm going to run. Okay, so I'm going to move with the other guy here, I guess. Yeah, okay, so that was my activation. This time I'm trying not to forget these special cards. So I'm going to roll, and I have to roll twice if I don't succeed with the first one. Okay, and we get an additional card for this guy now, and it says healing, okay? A creature of the dark player's choice automatically regains 1d3 plus 1 vitality points. Use this card at the beginning of the dark player's turn before. Okay, so I guess that happens right away. That means he's got to spend $2 or 2 points for that. Oh man, that was okay, that's not great, but okay. And that means we got to roll a die and see how much he heals. Okay, that wasn't too bad. He heals 2 life points. And in addition, he's going to do now his regeneration thing. And I'm afraid that we basically completely lost that turn. Yeah, he rolls 1d6 for every hit he took. So he rolls 4d6s. And then for every 5 plus, he heals that. Okay, so he heals another one. I mean, okay. He's down to we managed to do 3 wounds of damage. So that wasn't terrible. Now the guy activates. Now he's got a double attack. But that doesn't mean he can move twice. So he can only move once. He's got a movement of 4. So he can either try to, I mean, he's going to try to come as close to us as possible. So the only question is, which of the 3 is the target? In which direction is he going to move? And this is something, let's see, gonna go here. Pretty sure, is there a special, that's a large creature, so that's the one. Yeah, that's the symbol that we have here. So let's see, target priority, roll 1d6 to determine it. Okay, let's do that. Okay, that's a 4. The enemy which is easiest to hit. Okay, now that is, in this case, I guess, pretty sure that's probably Malice. Because the scout is out of range anyway, and the others have a better combat value. Yeah, so that is Malice. So I guess he kind of moves straight to her. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So he moves here. And yeah, he cannot run or something because, well, first of all, I think he's got that staggering thing going on. But he could also not enter her melee range if he cannot attack in the same turn. So I'm just fine there. Actually, we got to turn this guy around now. Now it's getting a little more impressive. Holy smokes. I think it's time to step back a little here. So we're going to do 1, 2. And then I'm going to try again the brain damage against this guy. So let's see. That was bad. I have to cast that spell again. This is important. I got to get this going here. Okay, that was a success. And wasn't great though, but it was okay. And so again, 5d6 against his intelligence. This is definitely the most promising thing we have to offer here. Wow, okay, that was great. 5 damage. Now we got a good chance to kill him this turn, actually, a really good chance. Now it's her, and she will shoot twice. Again with a accuracy longbow. Problem is, again, we need a 6 to do damage of all because of the invulnerability. And we have one. Wow, I mean, that is amazing. So now we do 5 damage, and I'm pretty sure we can kill the guy. Although it's not that clear. I mean, he has an armor of 4. Yeah, that's it. He's done. Fantastic. Absolutely amazing. I mean, overall, let's face it, this was not a terribly strong creature. But still, we did a good job here. And but it's only a kind of a medium. It's not a boss creature or something. So now we can search the body. And that means we can only roll 2 dice here. Okay, we found 2 gold. That's not bad. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this combat. So, not quite sure how I can proceed. There's nothing here. There is not... do I want to search for a secret door? Maybe I find another secret door here. So I might actually do that. I think I'm going to try with her to search for a secret door. So I'm going to roll a die and hope that I don't find a trap. Of course there is one. And that is darkness. Okay. Well, that isn't so terrible, I guess. That's tricky. I don't know if this actually matters. I think, yeah, I mean, it's not really reasonable to play that card at the moment. But I don't know what's coming up, so I don't want to play that or not. Maybe I should just discard it and give him another point. It makes sense before... it kind of makes sense before the combat, but now, I don't really know. On the other hand, I mean, it clearly says you can play it in a room. It doesn't say you only play it when you open a door. You can even play it when you open a chest. So I think I'm gonna play the card, and it's not a pretty clever move, but I'm gonna do it anyway. So he's gonna pay 1 for that, and then I'm allowed to search. And the darkness doesn't affect her, so I just have to make sure before that I'm going to bring the crow in, but that doesn't really matter. So let's see. I'm going to need something like a 7 or so. Yeah, okay, let's have a quick calculation. So the crow gives me +1, the sharp senses is another +1, the eagle eye is a +1. Yeah, it's exactly a 7. So we were successful, and we're going to see if there is a secret door or not. Okay, there's actually no secret door here. So that wasn't too hot. Seems we got to go back to the room with the 3 doors, and then we'll see what happens. I don't know. Okay, let's go back, and yeah, I'm not going to do this in detail here. I don't really see a reason for that. Okay, so we're back in the, well, I don't know, this kind of central room here. We came from here, and I'm going to open this door, and of course, again, we have to roll if there's a trap. This time we don't have one. And so let's see what kind of room there is behind. Okay, so now we have a corridor here, and there's another door back here, and of course we just move there and roll again for a trap. Okay, again a trap, so let's see what that is. And that says riddle. A door or a chest cannot be opened unless a riddle is solved. Solving a riddle requires passing an intelligence test with a -2 penalty. A failed attempt means the door or chest cannot be opened. If the riddle protects a door, it can be broken and will be regarded as a reinforced door. That's not good. Okay. So I'm not quite sure if I have to stand right next to in front of the door, or if I can arrange things in a way that so first of all we got to spend okay, so he's got 10 points left now. Okay. So I want to let the magician do the sorceress do that. But the question is, where does she have to be positioned? Does she have to be positioned right in front of the door, so when the door opens, I'm the first target? Or can I do it from, for example, next to it? When I do traps, for example, you can be next to the door and try to disarm the trap. I assume the riddle works in a similar way, but again, gotta check it. This is not indicated at all how that works. I couldn't find anything here. I mean, maybe it says there can only be one attempt per group. So maybe they are just kind of talking with each other, and it doesn't matter where you stand at all. That could also make sense if you think about it. And then one of the guys simply does a test, and we see if it works out or not. I'm going to do it like this. I mean, they can kind of, what do you think about it? And yeah, that's a weird line and all that way. And so in the end, I'm going to roll here with her. I got a 5 intelligence. So yeah, let's hope for the best here. It's a -2 modifier, so that means we need a 7. Now we got a fortune, so we can still re-roll that. Okay, very good. Easily done. So we managed to open that door with a riddle. And by the way, that was not the riddle card that we put aside. So there is a good chance, and I think this is going to happen. We're going to see another riddle, I think, later in the game. We still have these 3 cards that were set aside here. Okay, so inside this room, there are snakes. And that means it's not possible to have an encounter in there. But yeah, we got to deal with these guys. So the question is, do I want that? Because there are no doors inside here. I mean, okay, what we've seen a secret door already. And this thing was heavily protected. We've seen a riddle. We see the snakes. So I think I want to try to kill the snakes and search the room for secret doors. So you simply do an attack. You always hit. You have to be inside the room to do the attack. And they have 12 life points. So let's move inside. I'm going to take the dwarf because he's got the best armor. And so I always hit. I'm going to do 7 damage dice Yeah, I'm going to do 7 damage dice with my katana. They have an armor of 2, so let's see. Okay, so that was good. These were already 7 hits. But so they only have 5 hits left. I can place it like that. And but now I gotta take 1 damage die from the snakes. So on a 5 or 6, I'm gonna take damage here. Yeah, that's not great. But okay, I take a wound, and I might. So let's wait a second here. I can roll it. Okay, that was not a melee or ranged attack, so I cannot use the hardened. But there was something, the tough or something. Okay, character gets a +1 whenever he rolls to avoid the condition stunned, diseased, or poisoned. Wait a second, I messed around here. I don't take that thing automatically. I have to do an agility test first. Okay, let's do this. I got not a great agility. I have an agility of 2. But if I pass the test, I will not take the damage. So I need an 8 here. Oh, look at that. Okay, so no problems here. And then we're going to do a second attack. And again, we take 7 dice. Yeah. Okay, so the vermin is destroyed. I got to do another test if I was hit by the second one. Unbelievable, man, this guy is good. So nothing happened, actually. I managed to kill the snakes without taking any hits. That was pretty good. And now the scout will move in, and we're going to check again for traps, I guess, before we are allowed to search the room. So I'm going to move him out again because, yeah, if there is a trap going off, I don't want to get him in trouble. And we do have indeed a trap. So it's this one here, and that's a pit. Okay. Okay, so we need a 7 to detect the pit. So let's roll and then we'll see. I think I need something like a 5 or so. Okay, that's going to be enough. So we detected the pit. And it goes in the square occupied by the character who triggered the trap. Okay, basically, I mean, that is not of any consequence. We basically have to step back here. We would have had to place a pit here, but I'm not going to do that because it doesn't matter. But he's got to spend 2 points for that. And there we go. And now we can search the room. And I think, again, I need a 7 to be successful. And I am. Very good. So let's check it. Let's check the app if we have a secret door in here. Sadly, the whole thing was pointless. There is no secret door in this room at all. So that means gotta go back and try to open the door over here. And let's see. Gonna move all these guys. Just like that. I mean, you know, let's be honest, this is a little bit, it's not that exciting. It tells a bit of a story and all, but you know, just, I mean, okay, whatever. So we're gonna roll the die here again and see if we're gonna see another trap. And yes, there's going to be another trap. Now that is a reinforced door, and that's not good. It can be opened stealthy by passing a dexterity test. Okay. Yeah, so that's something we have to do, and that's not easy because we need a 12 to do that. But I don't want to break the door down, because then if we enter the new corridor, it is very likely that there will be creatures, because there haven't been creatures in the 2 rooms before that. So that means we got to do a double roll and so on. So it's very likely that there's going to be someone in there, and he's got a massive initiative bonus if we bump against that door for an hour. So let's see. What I want to do is I'm going to drink a dexterity potion. That's why I have these here. So that gives me a +2. And then I'm going to use my... it's super hard to do anyway. Fuck. Yeah, okay, whatever. I'm going to try it. It's really tough. So we got the dexterity potion. And then I'm going to use... somewhere I got these picklocks. Good lord, where is that stuff? Why don't I have them anymore? That's weird. I was sure I had them. Maybe they were destroyed in one of my former adventures. That would suck. Oh, wait a minute. What is that? No, these are the pickaxes. Okay, it seems I don't have them anymore. That's not good. I mean, yeah, that sucks. Okay, so that means I got to roll a 10. Ah, man. That's very unlikely, but you never know. I'm gonna give it a try anyway. Maybe I'm lucky. Yeah. So let's go for it. Ah, god damn, that was close. Do I want to spend a fortune? You know, I don't think so. Rolling a 10 is tough, and yeah, I guess I have to live with that reinforced door. Door has vitality 6, armor 6. Okay. So I guess we got to try to open that thing, and that's obviously not good because it's going to be very loud. Now you can try to break these doors also from adjacent spaces, if I remember that right. And I mean, that's gonna take a while. I don't think I want to do that on camera. You know, it's a bit pointless. So let's see. I'm just gonna do it, and I'll let you know how many turns it took. You know what? Actually, what I can do is, I mean, she has the bow. She cannot even attack the door. So these 2 guys can do it, and I can do basically 14 damage dice. Is that true? No, he does 7. This guy does 6, so it's 13. So I can do 13 damage dice per turn. So I'm going to roll them all together, and in the end I need 6 sixes. Okay, we already have 3, so that wasn't too bad. So that was the first turn. Oh god, then we get 2 more. Well, maybe when you're lucky. Okay, great, so that wasn't so terrible. So it took us 2 turns to do that. That means 2 noise tokens. So the other guys get basically now a modifier of +2 to their initiative roll. If there are creatures right behind that door. So let's see. I mean, that is obviously a dangerous thing now, but we'll see anyway. Actually, I think I haven't paid for the reinforced door. 1, 2, 3. I think he has to pay that. So even if creatures show up, it can't be too bad now. So let's see what we get here. Okay, that's another corridor. Let's take this one here. We got 2 arrows back there. Let's take these. Okay, and then we got to see if there will be creatures in there or not. And as I said, because we've seen no creatures in the last 2 sections, I think that the vermin doesn't count as a creature. I'm not sure though. Anyway, so because we don't seen them, we're gonna roll double twice now. And yeah, okay, so we're gonna have a creature. And this is a wandering creature. Okay, so yeah, we'll see. Hope it's not too bad. Gotta find the demons. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna roll a die. We're gonna add, I don't know. I think we're gonna add 2. Yeah. Oh boy. Okay, that's 8. That's a hellhound and an imp with a short bow. He's gonna pay 4 for these guys. So he's down to 1 point. Okay, so we have here the imp with the short bow, and here we got the hellhound. Now, yeah, we got to do the initiative, and that's where things are a little bit dangerous now, because they get this +2 modifier. The imp has 1 perception anyway, so technically he's got a +3. I don't know. We'll see what comes out. Okay, that could be maybe enough. I don't know. We'll see. So let's calculate that stuff. I got my sharp senses, and I got the crow. So that's +2. I got the ambush, so I got a +3 modifier. I cannot get more anyway. +3. I think +3 is the maximum that you can get. So that means I rolled a 9 technically. No, that's not true. I got a 10. This guy has a 6 +1 for the imp's perception, +2 because we crashed open the door. So that gives them overall a 9. So that means we actually managed to win the perception test. That was great. That was awesome. And the hellhound is actually caught by surprise, because here's I'm beyond his intelligence with both of my rolls. So I can turn him around. Pretty good, actually, pretty good. So the hellhound is fearsome, invulnerable, underworld. He's got the berserker attack. Ugh, dangerous guy. Okay, so let's see what we can do now. So, I think now the imp has a short bow. That's not terribly dangerous, but I think I want to shoot at the imp first anyway. So I'm gonna, yeah, let's do that. I got still my dexterity potion, which is pretty cool. So let's see. Do I want to use an arrow? Maybe the silver arrow. I don't know. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna use the silver arrow. Can do that once per combat. So let's do it. That is enough. I'm pretty sure it is. I got my +2 modifier for the dexterity potion. It would not be enough otherwise, but I think I get a minus. Okay, let's. I think I might have to calculate that. So let's see. Come on. Okay, the distance is 6. So that gives me a -1. It's just good enough. So that's a -1. And, well, his agility is actually pretty good, but it's not higher than mine. And because he's small, I get another -1. So I get a -2, but because of the dexterity potion, a 5 is exactly good enough. So that was good. Then I roll 4 dice, and I can reduce his armor by 1. So that means a 2 and more is a hit. Okay, so I killed the imp. And now the hound is on his own. And, you know, I'm gonna, yeah, obviously I'm gonna do another shot. I give a second shot against the hound. Let's see, I need a 6 because of the invulnerability. Oh, wow, look at that. Fantastic. Now, I wish I would have used the arrow for this guy, but of course you can know that. So, that is pretty cool. I have 5 dice. Now, he's got 5 life points. I need a 4 to do damage, so that's not so easy. Okay, that wasn't so bad either. So I did already 3 damage, and pretty optimistic we can finish him off in the next with a spell or something. Okay, so I'm going to step back here, and then it's her, and she moves in here. Does she use the brain damage again, or do I want to keep 1 left? I mean, the brain damage is really strong against the hound, but we don't know what's coming up later. We might see more dangerous creatures, so maybe I don't want to waste that spell. I also have my mana potion and my recovering mana ability. I'm not sure what to do here. Maybe I should go with the green flame. Yeah, I think I'm going to keep the spell with the brain damage for some kind of ugly, more powerful demon later. I only have to do 2 more damage. So I'm going to use the green flame, and let's see what we can do here. Okay, I mean, that is a very good... actually, you know, was the guy... Yeah, he's fearsome. I forgot about that. It doesn't really matter. Yeah, it didn't matter at the moment. I wonder... I think, yeah, so because I did already a successful courage test against this abysmal creature or abyssal creature before, the guys who did that test are immune to frighten now of creatures of the same level. So all the yellow creatures, I don't have to be afraid of them anymore. So I don't have to do that test anymore. So that was a good spell cast, a good casting here. And that means I can use now 6 dice. No, because it's a flame and the guy is underworld, I can use only 5 dice. But it still should be okay. I need a 4 here. Okay, that's enough. I did 2 damage, which is exactly what I needed to kill him. Awesome. So we did that. That allows me to search the room, rolling 3 dice. Okay, we found 1 coin. Not too exciting, but still something. And now I'm going to move here, and I'm going to load this up now. And we'll see what happens then in the last room. I assume there is just 1 more room. Obviously, I don't know. We're going to see what happens then in the next video. Hope to see you then. Bye.